Hello, my friend. It's Jillian. I'm back with another big belly yoga class. So, one thing that I found a lot of when I look up practices for larger bodies online is the recommendation that people in bigger bodies take gentle classes. And don't get me wrong, I love gentle yoga classes, but I also know that big bodies are strong bodies and that people who are in larger bodies don't need to only be doing gentle yoga. So today's practice is going to make a lot of room for the belly, but it's also going to be a strong one. It's going to give us a little bit of work. All right, so let's start on our hands and knees. So taking wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Maybe you shift and shimmy a little bit. Just kind of work out your day. Maybe a little something from your sleep. And then the next time you breathe in, you're going to drop your heart down. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to look forward. And then exhale, lift your heart up, tuck your tailbone, drop the head. Breathe in, heart comes down. Exhale, lift it up. Move with your breath, move in time with your breath. Let's take one more breath in. One more breath out. And then coming back to a flat back. We're going to flow a little bit here. So we're going to breathe in. This time we're going to lift the heart up when we breathe in. Breathe out, take the hips back towards the heels. A little variation on child pose. Breathe in, come forward. Breathe out, drop the heart. Good, so we're going to do that again. If you need a little more space between the knees for the belly, take it. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hips come back. Inhale it forward. Exhale it down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, drop down. Let's do 2 more rounds. You move at your own pace. And when you're done, come back to a flat back. Maybe bring those knees back under the hips. Shift, shimmy, wiggle any way that you need to. And then let's take the hands forward, just a few more inches. Curl the toes under, lift the knees, lift your hips up, and find a downward facing dog. Now maybe you adjust your feet a little bit. They should be about hip distance, hip bone. Paddle out your feet, maybe shake your head, maybe open, close your mouth a few times. And then eventually let those heels be heavy, moving towards the mat. You can bend your knees as much as you like. Still breathing here in and out through the nose. And then from here, bending into the knees as much as you need to. We're going to walk our feet to the top of the mat, maybe taking them towards the edges of the mat. So lots of space for the belly as we take a dangle, sway, let everything go. And then a really nice slow roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Bend into your knees as much as you need to protect your low back, protect your hamstrings. Once you get to the top, roll your shoulders back. Open up your heart. Let's step the feet a little bit closer together, about hip distance, maybe a little more. Let's open up the hands to face the front. Close down the eyes. Good, you're standing nice and tall. We're going to go through some variations of sun salutations here. So we're going to breathe in. We're going to reach our arms up overhead. Exhale, take a forward fold. Breathe in, come up halfway, hands to shins or thighs. And then exhale, plant your hands down. We're going to step back to a plank. Drop the knees down. We're going to lower nice and slowly down onto the belly. Elbows bend towards the back of your mat. We're going to take the elbows out to the side, 90 degrees. Roll shoulders back. Lift the head, lift the chest. Squeeze your bum. Lower down. Hands beside the rib cage. Push yourself up. Move through table. Curl the toes under. Lift the knees, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet. Maybe look under one armpit and then the other. And then let's walk it up to the top. Breathing in, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep your arms, come all the way up. Palms together, hands to the heart. All right, we're gonna do that again. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Drop those knees. Heart comes forward, elbows back, lower down with control. Elbows out to the side. Roll shoulders back, lift the head, lift the chest. And then lower down, hands beside the rib cage. Push yourself up, downward facing dog. So about 5 breaths here. If you need to pause, take the knees down, roll out the wrists a little bit. Do that for yourself. Downward dogs are a lot on the wrists, especially if you're newer to the practice. Good, coming up onto your toes. Let's walk all the way up to the top. Breathe in, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep the arms. Hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, knees up or down, your choice. Lower down with control. It's how we build strength. Elbows out. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. And then lowering down, hands beside the rib cage, moving through push-up or table, downward dog. Again, 5 breaths here. You got this. We're almost there. All right, come up onto your toes, bend your knees, come to the top of your mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep your arms coming up. Hands to the heart. All right, release your hands down. Take your hands to your hips. We're gonna keep the right foot forward. We're gonna step the left foot back. We're gonna turn those left toes out to about 45 degrees. So they're kind of pointing out towards the upper left corner. We're gonna reach the arms up. Sink into that right knee. Adjust as you need to. All right, so from our warrior one here, we're gonna start to shift a little bit of weight into that right foot. Maybe coming up onto the left toes, maybe coming forward with the heart. Trying to keep the hips as square as we can here. You can flex that back foot if you like. And then let's come back. We're going to find our warrior one again. Sink into that front knee. Good. Still breathing here, in and out through the nose. One more time. So when you're ready, start to shift weight into that right foot. Drag that left foot up. Toes can stay on the mat or lift them up. Good. Take that foot back down. Warrior one last time. And then let's take hands to the hips. We're going to step that left foot to meet the right at the top. Shake it out a little bit in between sides. And then left foot forward. Right foot steps back. So again, make sure those back toes are turned out 45 degrees. We want to have a little space between our feet too. It's like imagining that they're on some railroad tracks. So we're sinking into that front knee. Call that the heel to heel alignment. All right, start to bend into that left leg. And then shift your weight forward. Lifting up. Come on, my strong friend. And then let's sink it down. Good, still breathing, right? One more time. So coming forward, coming into that left leg. Trying to keep hips square as much as we can. And then let's sink that foot back. Hands to the hips. Let's step right to meet the left. Shake her out a little bit. Grab some water. And then we're going to step one of our feet back. Doesn't really matter which one. Facing the long edge of the mat, whichever way you can see me best. So let's start with our toes sort of pointing out about 45 degrees, so towards the corners of the mat. We're going to just start to sink into one knee and then the other. Just kind of exploring, going side to side. And then bending into the right knee. We're going to stay on the right side. Let's take the right elbow to the right thigh. We're going to reach up and over with the left arm. So nice long line here. This left arm. Maybe the gaze is up at the ceiling. If that's a lot on your neck, you can just have it looking forward. And then breathing in, we're going to come up. Same thing, second side. And one more breath. Good, and then inhale, come back to center. Take those hands to the hips. Maybe bring those toes in slightly. And then leading with your heart, we're going to take a forward fold. So dropping the head down. If your hands don't reach the mat, you're going to use a block under your hands. Or you can just take your hands to your legs. 2 more breaths. Take your hands to your hips, bend into your knees, take your time coming all the way up to standing. Heel toe your feet together. We're going to come back to the top of the mat now. Taking a pose that's so good for us. Taking the feet about as wide as the mat. We're going to begin to bend into the knees. Sink the bum down. We're finding our yogi squat. Take your hands to your heart. Elbows push into the thighs. So still breathing here. If it feels good, you could bring a little bit of movement into this squat, this malasana. Good. Try to keep those knees from collapsing in, elbows push them apart. And then we're going to come onto the mat now. So you can stand up, or if it's available, you can take the hand behind you. Just drop yourself down. And come onto our backs. Take the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. And let's take the soles of the feet down to the mat. Feet are about hip distance. The arms alongside the body. In some people's body, it feels comfortable to have the fingertips touching the heels. In my body, I find that when I come up into bridge and I've got my fingers touching, my knees actually go past my ankles and it doesn't feel very good. So I like having a little more space, but everybody's different. We're going to tuck the tailbone here. We're going to start to lift ourselves up. And then if you feel like you can come up a little higher, maybe you start to walk those upper arms together underneath you, interlacing the fingers. And then staying here, because this is a lot of work, you could stay here. Or if you want to play around a little bit, maybe you lift one foot about an inch off the mat. Lower it down. Second foot. Lower it down. Try to keep the hips as square as you can. And side to side. Just a little extra. Maybe we see if we can lift the hips up just a little bit more. And then let's release the hands. If you've got the hands clasped, lower down. Feet to the edges of the mat. And just let it go. Windshield wiper the knees. Let's take the knees towards the chest one more time. Maybe a happy baby. So those knees come towards the armpits, feet up towards the ceiling. You can grab the feet, the ankles, the thighs. Maybe take a rock. If there's anything else that your body wants you to take, maybe a stretch, a twist, an inversion, taking it now. And then settling in for your Savasana. Make sure you've got lots of padding, lots of cushioning underneath you. If there's any spots that feel a little tender. This would be a good time to turn off the video, get yourself nice and comfortable. Maybe take 5 to 10 minutes for yourself. So thank you so much for joining me for today's big belly practice. I hope you're feeling strong today. So I will see you next time.